I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect to have to make this video, but there has been a Karen who is literally attacking scootering. Hey, what's poppin', everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. So today, we have something special, not in a good way though. In fact, it's actually pretty dang bad. And usually I wouldn't make something like this, but I feel like I have to address this issue because it's so major. And a lot of you guys are young, and you guys should know this just to be aware of in the future. Because if you like scootering, you want to get into scootering, or you've been scootering, this is important. And if you ever wanted scootering to be in the X Games, the Olympics, this is a major problem that scootering is literally facing right now, this second. And a handful of people have addressed it, but I feel like I really need to. Basically, it started and it's still going with this one single Karen. Yeah, a Karen. Okay, so a Karen is somebody who thinks she's entitled, or he or she or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They think they're above everybody. It's just like, it's not a good person. You don't want to be a Karen, okay? Anyway, so in 2023, the ISF World Scooter Championships was supposed to be held in Australia. And it went wrong in probably 10 different ways, and they weren't like small mistakes, they were like 10 major mistakes. And not only were they mistakes, they were lied about. So let's just get this straight. People paid $3,000 to $5,000 to fly out to Australia and compete. Not even like, that's just hotels and food. Who knows what else they paid? And then they also paid a price to even compete. And I actually know somebody personally who actually went and flew out to Australia for this competition. His name is Mikey Tomczyk. His mom and him went to fly to Australia so they could go compete, or he could at least. If you guys know Matt Huff, he went as well. Matt Huff actually had to pay out of pocket because Fusion doesn't sponsor the event anymore. Fusion used to sponsor the event, as well as Mad Gear. Mad Gear used to sponsor the event as well. But I think after Havasu last year, they just stopped. So the president of this world championship, her name is, we're gonna call her Karen, or @thescootmother. That's her name on Instagram. Corny Instagram name, right? So she is the head. She's the top person of this event. So I'm just gonna go down a list of all the things that I can remember that happened that went horribly. They're not chronologically in order or anything. So this one's huge. There was supposed to be $30,000 in prize money that was promised to all the riders. Not each one was gonna get 30, but 30,000 was gonna be split between all the winners. And I believe it was less than 20,000 that was actually handed out. Where did that other $10,000 go? Maybe to wine, because the president really likes wine. Another thing, pretty much last year at Havasu, there's this one kid who tried a double backflip over the box at Havasu, got completely knocked out. You guys might have seen that clip. If you haven't, well, here it is. There was no medical staff at the skate park, and a kid, like an athlete that was competing, had to call the ambulance. Not even, nobody from the competition, just an athlete. And I'm only telling you guys this because I want you to never, ever, ever spend any time, money, or attention for an ISF event ever. The future of scootering is in the hands of World Skate. They're gonna get us into the Olympics if anybody is. So do not do a global or international competition with ISF. Just don't. Back to Australia though. So the park was actually built instead of just being used by a public park, which Havasu was. Which, by the way, is extremely unfair because a lot of people could just go to Arizona, practice for 2 weeks more than everybody else because the park's already there and it's public. And then they have a much bigger advantage to everybody else competing. Sounds pretty unfair, right? So the ISF finals was in Australia this year, and they promised a skate park on a certain date, but they didn't have the park ready for 2 weeks after that. So people came on a specific date to practice on a specific date, and then they had to pay extra hotels, extra money for food, all this stuff for 2 whole weeks. That can come up to like $3,000. So it took them an extra 2 weeks to build a skate park, because by the way, when people got there, it was just a field of grass and a little bit of concrete. So people spent almost 2 weeks waiting to ride ramps, and get this, it gets worse. Just to ride 10-year-old ramps that were in a fire. Yes, these ramps were used and they were in a burnt down skate park. Please tell me that's logical. Please, somebody tell me that's logical. Monster Skate Park burnt down a couple of years ago and they had a bunch of ramps, and I guess they got them for free. I guess ISF just got them for free because, I mean, they had no money because clearly they didn't give it to the prize people. It was terrible, it was broken, it was such a mess. Transition was bad, the boxes were absolutely awful, the coping was out of of place. And the only reason I know all this is because Scooter Brad actually broadcasted this whole situation. Like, there's videos all over Instagram about this. It was delayed and there was massive gaps in the ramps. Like, there was literally holes, rust, and gaps in between all the ramps. So like, if you hit a ramp too far to the left, you could go in between two and just get stuck in between, you go flying, you're dead. So once people started seeing how bad the skate park was on Instagram, they started asking questions on Instagram, just like normal comments. And ISF, like the competition holder themselves, were literally being extremely rude, super disrespectful, weren't even answering the questions, all in Instagram comments. They told people if they had legitimate questions to email. Everybody emailed, no response. I actually commented, I thought it was pretty funny, and they just took it out on me. Like, look at this junk on the screen, like, this is insane. Like, come on. They were literally responding to kids like this. Try actually competing, then run your mouth. The top person at this competition, like, imagine X Games was commenting on one of their athletes like that on an Instagram post. Try actually competing, then run your mouth. Like, bro, they literally trash talking in their own comment section. And that is so bad because it's so extremely unprofessional. Like, the whole point is to be professional. If it was such a legit competition, why are you guys acting like children? And these are grown adults typing on this ISF Instagram page. Grown adults, so it's not like a 5-year-old, like, this is a grown human being. And then when I made a comment, they blocked me on their page. Okay, what else? Because it gets worse. So before the competition, they actually hired news people to come and broadcast it and, you know, promote it. And this is what they did.
Ahead of the World Scooter Championship this weekend. That's always a big one in the calendar. You have that one circled, that's for sure. Now, I must admit, some of the competition, they weren't quite as impressive as I kind of hoped they would be.
You can come and check this out if you're interested. Oh! You can see more of this if you want to come and check it out for yourself here in Lidcombe on Thursday. See these youngsters in action, the International Scooter Federation's World Championships. Yes, it's a thing.
You know what that was, Sam?
Yeah.
Absolutely shit.
Yeah, like, that is the most cringy thing I have ever seen, ever. And if anybody was gonna take scootering seriously, that was the worst way to do it. I don't know who was in charge. I don't know if ISF was like, let's make it funny so it's at least appealing to people, so we can get some viewership, so we can at least get some money out of it. That is like, the level of disrespect towards the sport was just unbelievable. Come on, this is a world finals, and there was literally kids flopping on the ground trying to be funny about it. I don't know who was in charge. I don't know if it's the news people that were in charge. It doesn't matter. It was a mess. So then fast forward to the end of the competition, they gave the women's finalists, first place got the second place check, and second place got the first place check. Like, come on, bro. Who is actually running this junk? It's like, you know, let me give the first place person the silver trophy and the second place the gold. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how do you not see this? Oh, and also during the competition, they were building the skate park as well. They were still building it during the competition. So some kid was literally riding during his run and they were fixing the ramp. Like, imagine driving a car and somebody's in your engine working on it while you're on the highway. What kind of safety precaution is that? And then also, they didn't have any food or water at this comp. Literally, they used a garden hose from somebody's house. Yep, not a water fountain, not water bottles, a garden hose. And it's Australia, it's hot. And who the frick knows what's in that water, especially coming from a garden hose, bro. You're supposed to water your plants with that. After the competition was done, it got even freaking worse. Okay, so the ISF president, her name is Samantha D. And this is what she DM'd to Clayton Lindley, like the guy from Undialed. I'm seriously disgusted. If you had an issue, why not talk to me? I thought you were better than this. I helped you, you ingrate? What the? Remember how I told you she liked wine? I think she was drunk texting this, which is not good. Don't drink, kids, it's bad for you. Let me have a word at every comp you're involved with to make sure it's properly covered, and I will be calling. You made an enemy out of a friend. Kisses. 2 can play. Hugs to Shelby. It's on for both you NPCs. Let's go. Ruining the sport. So this is just Clayton just trying to explain to this crazy lady who doesn't know how to run a competition that she doesn't know how to run a competition. And she's probably responding with a glass of wine in her hand, not really know what she's talking about, just kind of blabbering out of her mouth. And once again, these are text messages from the ISF president. And I can tell you firsthand, I've competed at both events and World Skate isn't even close. It's so much higher. ISF is like driving a broken Honda Civic. So yeah, you get the gist of it. of it. So the whole point of this video is to help you guys steer away from these bad competitions, and by bad I mean just these two. Local competitions is a great thing to get involved in, but if you're gonna do something national or international, World Skate, that's it. Because there shouldn't be 3 different world scooter titles. That's ridiculous. I don't know why 2 just decided to pop up, but one of them had to go, and the one actually did go. So we won the whole war. ISF Instagram's gone. United Scoot Instagram's gone. I hope she's watching this. I doubt she will. She probably is just too busy drinking wine. Got some wild YouTube videos coming up, so that's all I can say. I'm out of here. I'll catch you next time. Later.